Hello everyone, I hope you're doing okay as you tune into this video. So, which will prevent or deal with anxiety faster or more effectively, resisting or allowing? I talk about allowing all the time. So in this video, I'm just going to use the practical example of exercise just to demonstrate both approaches. So how we can even use something as helpful as exercise to resist the anxiety or allow it, and help you see in it using a practical example as a reminder, or for those of you who are new, just to see how you can actually start to potentially allow anxiety versus resisting it. So let's just take the example that you're using exercise as a coping tool for anxiety. You might know you're anxious, feeling stressed, there's lots of tension in the body. Perhaps you can feel adrenaline. You can't stop the rumination, the worrying thoughts. Maybe you're getting difficult symptoms. And you're like, right, I'm going to go to the gym and deal with this anxiety. So let's start with what resisting is. So when we're resisting anxiety, we're doing our best, by the way. We're trying to cope with it, sort of understand it. We know we've got anxiety, but we don't necessarily know what it is. Might even know our nervous system's a bit agitated, but we think it's like, I just can't get my thinking right. So I'm just going to furiously get my stuff. I'm going to go to do some exercise because it does help me feel better, which is great, by the way. But I'm just going to get my stuff organized. I'm going to get my clothes packed. I'm going to race around, go to the gym and sort of hold on until I get to the gym where I can finally sort of get on the treadmill or the bike and run furiously, and pedal my way through it. The more thoughts that come, the more I focus on the anxiety, the more I notice how stressed I am, the more I run, the more I sort of just try and concentrate on the road on the way to the gym. Whilst I'm at the gym, I rush around quickly to the change rooms to get changed, to do whatever I need to do to get on that treadmill so I can finally deal with the anxiety. When I'm on the treadmill or the bike, as I was saying earlier, you run faster, you pedal harder, the more that thoughts come into your mind, the more you realize you're ruminating, the more you notice physical symptoms of tension or stress, the more your anxieties come in, whether they be worries about the future, worrying about the past, and you're just sort of burning through it. And you have to keep going when you're resisting in this way in order to get rid of as much tension in the system so you get some relief. Now, the reason why I call this resisting, even though exercise is a useful coping tool for anxiety, is that you're not desensitizing your nervous system necessarily. So even though exercise is good and perhaps you get some relief. So when you finish exercising, doing your 20 minutes on the treadmill, on the bike, half an hour, sometimes it might be an hour to get any sort of relief depending on where you're at, how tense you are, how much tension's in your nervous system. You might sort of finally get some relief. You might finally feel a bit better. The body is just tired, a bit more depleted, so there's less tension in the system, and you feel a bit better. But then again, at some point the next day, later that afternoon, sort of you start to notice the worries come back, the tension come back, and you sort of go back to distracting yourself, throwing yourself into work, watching TV, gaming, studying, doing house chores, whatever it is, so that you don't notice the anxiety again. And then you might wait until you go to the gym next day to do it all again, or go for a run or do something else. So that's resisting. The alternative to that is allowing. So when we allow anxiety, we understand it. So when you realize you're anxious or stressed, and you decide, right, I'm going to do some exercise because I know I love it. It helps me stay fit and feel well. It's good for cardiovascular health, etc. It's good to burn off a bit of excess adrenaline. So I'm sitting here, right, all right, I'm just going to go to the gym. Oh, feeling a bit anxious. I can notice my heart racing. Okay, no problem. I'm just going to allow that energy, the adrenaline that I feel now before I even get to the gym, just to process. I'm just going to slow down a bit. Just going to slowly get ready for the gym, finish off doing an email. If I start to rush, I'm just going to, that's just the adrenaline in my system. My nervous system's sensitized. I understand what's happening. I know that stress has built up on my system over years, potentially weeks, months, or years, so I'm feeling sensitized. So I'm just going to slow down now. I'm going to enjoy the gym when I get there, if I enjoy it. But however I feel now, I'm not going to resist. I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to push it away. I'm not going to white knuckle through it. I'm just going to slowly walk around, get ready, get my jacket on, walk to the car slowly, grab the keys, the phone. Just take a breath as I sit down in the car, drive slowly to the gym, walk in, smile at a few people. Even if I feel rough, even if I feel tension, I'm just going to allow that as best I can. Get changed, get on the treadmill or the bike, and just start slowly pedaling. And then any thoughts, symptoms, or feelings, worries, rumination, worries about future past, just allow them. It's just adrenaline, no problem, back to running. I might increase the pace just to enjoy it, to, get a bit of frustration out. Just enjoy the fact that you're releasing frustration, but I'm not trying to stop it. I know it's just adrenaline. The adrenaline will always dissipate. I'll always get relief from how I feel, whether I'm doing exercise or not. And for now, I'm going to enjoy any extra tension that I'm getting rid of. I do that for 20 minutes an hour, regardless of how I feel, whether I feel good or bad, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to enjoy this time as best I can. I'm going to allow the anxiety, the tension, and even if I stop and I don't feel amazing, that's okay, because I know relief will always come. It always does, because I understand what this anxiety thing is. I know it's just my tired nervous system, and that at some point the adrenaline fueling my current symptoms or worries will eventually dissipate. I might get relief while I'm exercising. That's a bonus. I just know exercise is good for me regardless, so I'm going to do it. And then I finish, I get changed slowly. If I notice any tension or worries, that's okay. I walk slowly back to the car, make a few calls if I need to before I start driving, check an email, go home, back to work, whatever I'm doing, but I'm allowing it the whole time. So the difference is that in option one, where you're kind of resisting, you're pushing through, you're distracting yourself, you're holding on until you get to the gym, you're creating more tension, so your sensitization levels don't drop. So over time, you're not really shifting your state of anxiety. The nervous system's learning to stay hypervigilant, to stay in this flight-fight mode. You get a bit of relief from exercise perhaps, which is great. But then afterwards, you go back to worrying and tensing and distracting yourself, which doesn't shift the needle on your tension. And then you start to rely on the exercise to get relief. That's the only thing that gets you relief, because finally, if you exercise hard enough, your body gets tired enough that the adrenaline finally dissipates. In the second approach, where you're starting to allow the anxiety, you're dealing with it whenever it arises. So every time you allow it, whether you're getting ready to go to the gym, you're walking to the car, you're in the car, you're dropping the shoulders, you're teaching your nervous system that it's okay, it's fine, the anxiety, while unpleasant, is not serious. And so it's just desensitizing before you even get on the treadmill. Sometimes you'll get relief, sometimes you won't. But over time, it's dropping the sensitization levels. So the anxiety, the chronic anxiety you're experiencing, no matter what symptoms come up, whether it's rumination, physical symptoms, will start to lower over time. So the anxiety will absolutely dissipate faster. You'll get more permanent relief the more you allow it versus resist it. So that's the difference between the two. That's why allowing is a recovery practice, whereas resisting in the context of exercise, and this one, is just simply a coping mechanism. It's good if you don't have any other alternative, if you don't know any better, but when you understand sensitization, the more you allow it day in and day out, the nervous system learns to let go more fundamentally. So this chronic state of tension will dissipate and let go over time. And then the exercise you do, for example, is just an even better support tool, because you can use it to get rid of frustration without needing to stop any of the rumination or worry, because you know what it is and you know that you're desensitizing more permanently over time. So I hope that helps give you an example of what resistance versus allowing is, and the different benefits of allowing over resistance in terms of recovery. If you've got any questions, please let me know. But I'm sure I'll see you here again soon. Take care.